We don't live in the right area.
3 hours, and he finished on 69.3 under par. Early on, he shared the lead with the American Charles Howell III, so obviously they did get off Gilligan's Island. Two other Americans, Bubba Watson and Ryan Moore,
Thank you.
So at the moment in third spot.
Good on you, Warwick Daly. Thank you very much. That's Warwick Hadfield, of course. It's 8 minutes to 8 on RM Breakfast. Two of Australia's biggest companies delivered a fall in their profits yesterday. Telstra's result dragging the market down, while Qantas posted a 5.7% fall. Its profit for the year to June the 30th was $116 million. But in some good news for Qantas and the economy more broadly, the airline's figures show that domestic business demand is strengthening. While all sectors of the business were profitable, the star performers were its frequent flyer program, unbelievably, its low-cost carrier, Jetstar and Qantas Freight. Qantas CEO Alan Joyce joined us in our breakfast studio. Alan Joyce, good morning again.
Good morning, Fran. Great to talk to you again.
One headline today says, Qantas upbeat but profits down. Is that a fair wrap?
Well, we look at our profitability in terms of underlying PBT, which has actually trebled year on year. So it's a great performance from Qantas.
A great performance in terms of the global context, I suppose. How much did economic conditions in Europe and the US, let's face it, they're still shaky, and of course the Icelandic volcanic eruption hurt Qantas last year?
Well, you know, the volcanic eruption wasn't planned, wasn't in our forecast, Fran, and we didn't expect that when we outlined to the market that we were going to have an underlying PBT of between 300 and 400 million. The volcano cost us $46 million, and so we would have came out above the range if it wasn't for that.
And as you say, you can't budget for that. One thing you must be budgeting for, which was a surprise I thought in these figures, was the huge profit margin in Qantas Frequent Flyer, a record profit up by more than $100 million, which is a lot more than Qantas's premium airline flying operations brings in. What is it that brings in the profits in a frequent flyer program?
Well, the frequent flyer program is a very stable business. The frequent flyer program actually generates profits from selling points to the banks, to Woolworths, and then redeeming them either on Qantas flights, Jetstar flights, or through one of the biggest online retail stores, our frequent flyer retail store. And we make a margin out of doing that.
So you make a margin with every one of those people offering your loyalty program?
Basically, yes. So the banks, it generates absolute customer loyalty with the banks, with Woolworths, and we make a margin out of that loyalty. Can I say as well, I think you're absolutely right. In this period, when the global financial crisis has hit, the loyalty program is a very stable earner, and it's a big shining star in our numbers. But Qantas is the business that's rapidly improving. The premium market's on its way back. The premium market domestically returned significantly in the last quarter, and we saw the Qantas returns in the last quarter become the most profitable carrier flying.
What can we read into that? I think last time you were in here having a talk to us after the last set of profits, the premium market had bombed completely. In fact, a lot of commentators around the world were saying it's not going to rise from this. The premium market is on its way out. What you've just told us is it's rebounding. We know that Virgin Blue is relaunching itself next year, so it's going back into that premium market. Yeah. What does that tell us?
Well, we were always confident that the premium market would return. There were doomsayers that said that because of the global financial crisis, businesses and people weren't going to buy premium product. We didn't believe that, and that's why we've continued to invest in a premium product.
Are you concerned about the fact that Virgin Blue is going to relaunch a full domestic business class? It's going to, refit a lot of its planes. Does that worry you?
No, because I think what Qantas is so far ahead, and we continue to invest for the future. We in the last year spent $100 million on new lounges, new terminals, and the next generation of check-in. We already have spent billions of dollars on new aircraft. This year alone, we're going to spend another $2.6 billion on new aircraft. And the basics were way ahead of the competition. Qantas had the best on-time performance for 8 years. It was miles ahead of its competitors domestically, and Qantas's customer service is at record levels. So
I better
we're well
pull you
ahead.
up, or I'm going to get complaints about a big ad for Qantas. But it does seem to be a two-speed story, or two-stream story going on here in these profits, because on the one hand, your budget airline, Jetstar, has outperformed Qantas again.
Yes.
So that's the budget airline. On the other hand, the premium class is whirring back.
Absolutely, Fran. But the great thing about Qantas is it has this portfolio. It has a premium carrier, a low-cost carrier, frequent flyer program. And at different stages in the economic cycle, different parts of the businesses perform well. You know, when fuel price was on the highest levels of $145 a barrel and the market was booming, the low-cost carriers were suffering, and people talked about the death of the low-cost market. So the great thing about us is we have this diversity, and at different times, different parts of the business will do well. The great part is that all of our businesses have improved this year over last year, and we think we're on the road to recovery.
Let's look to the future, because at Perth Airport, Qantas is currently piloting a new electronic check-in and baggage system.
Yeah.
For those of us not in Perth, how does that work, and how's it working out?
It's working out really well. I was over there in Perth on the 26th of July for the launch. Now, what that involves is that for all of our frequent flyers, we're giving them a new frequent flyer card with an electronic chip in it. And we're also giving them permanent bag tags. These are bag tags with electronic chips. So when you go to the airport, you simply swipe your card at a podium. It goes green. That says you've checked in. You go straight to a carousel. You put your own bag on the carousel. It electronically links that with you and your booking, and then takes the bag into the system. It will eliminate the queuing at the airports.
So at the bag drop counter, no more queuing?
We'll have unmanned bag drops, but with a lot of hosts. We have the same number of employees at the airport to help people, and we will.
For now,
we will be actually able to facilitate. One of the staff over in Perth told me it was the first time in 15 years he's had a decent conversation with a customer, because he's no longer just typing at the terminal. He's engaging with the customers. This will be a big improvement. It comes to Sydney by the end of the year, Melbourne in February, Brisbane and Canberra next year. It's going to be a big change to the travel experience.
And just briefly, there's always some people listening who want to know about your planes, and Qantas is buying some new planes, the Dreamliner.
Yes. The Dreamliner, the 787, Qantas has the second largest order of those aircraft in the world. 100 aircraft we could be taking of that aircraft.
What routes will the Dreamliner be on?
It will fly domestically and internationally, and it will be a big change for the customer. The windows are a lot bigger, nearly 50% bigger than windows on the aircraft today. You're less likely to get jet lag, because the humidity in the aircraft is a lot better. It's a lot quieter, so it'll fly longer distance, less jet lag. People will get off the aircraft a lot more refreshed.
When do we get on the
It'll start appearing. We've brought them forward very recently to 2012, so they start coming into Australia in 2012.
Alan Joyce, thanks very much for joining us again on Breakfast. Alan Joyce is the CEO of Qantas. And coming up after the news, GP super clinics, they're a big feature in this election campaign. Labor bringing you more of them. The coalition would scrap them. But what are they? How do they work? And do we need them? It's news time now, 8 o'clock.
Thanks, Fran.
Thank you, Alan.
Sorry I did too much.
That's
okay. I know you got
ABC News, I'm Caroline Winter.